So this bathroom is under construction. I absolutely hate printed wallpaper. It's just too busy. I prefer plain, simple walls. I don't like the busyness of all the flower prints. So we're getting rid of this. And I also hate the sink. It's plastic. I hate plastic sinks. And I don't like this ugly brown cabinet. So we are taking this cabinet out. We are going to toss it in the trash because I have no use for it. I probably will save the hardware. And then we're going to get rid of the sink. Now the sink that I'm going to put in is not on the left. It's actually more in the center. So I'm going to have to move my mirror because my mirror is close to the edge. I'm going to move the mirror over a little bit, and I'm also going to dress up the frame. And we have a couple of other things we're going to do to this room. The colors are going to, it's a small bathroom, it's a guest bathroom, and I want to keep it with very light colors so that it doesn't make, any dark color would make it feel extra small. And I am going to retile the floor because this floor, it just looks bad. There was a water leak there. So there's a stain and it's just old and it needs to be changed. But there's nothing wrong with the shower unit, so I'm just going to leave that as is. And the toilet's good, so we'll leave that as is. We're just going to replace this cabinet with the white cabinet that I have been painting. Here are the two doors from that cabinet that I bought. You can see the original color of the wood. I don't like the dark wood. I wanted a nice bright white color in my bathroom. But I was happy that the doors are a nice style and it is solid wood. Well, some of the cabinet is particle board. Here's one of the drawers. You can see that it's made with particle board, and I'm probably going to paint the entire inside and outside of the drawer. Yeah, that's definitely particle board. Now I had a little accident, and this drawer obviously had a lot of water damage. So I was going to replace this bottom, and I accidentally broke the drawer. And this is particle board right here. So it's like falling apart. So I'm going to have to rebuild the drawer. So I saved all of the pieces. I'm going to try to reuse this so it still has the same routing and the same wood. I just got to figure out how to get that off. It's got staples. So I got to get this piece off, and I'm going to use these pieces to make a pattern so that I can rebuild the drawer, and that way, and I'm probably not going to use particle board. I don't really particularly care for particle board. I'll probably use real wood, and that way it'd be a much better drawer. And it definitely, this part needs to be replaced anyways. That's just like, that is ugly, filthy, dirty. So we'll just put a brand new bottom in it. This drawer's fine. I don't see a problem with it, so we'll leave it that as is. I did save this little thing that came off the bottom, and that's what slides on the track when the drawer pulls in and out. I did decide to only paint the one side last night and let it dry. I did do 2 coats, and then this morning I looked at it and I said, you know, it could use one more coat. So I painted it one more time. It's almost dry. I'm going to wait until it's thoroughly dry before I flip it over, because where it sits down, sometimes you get a little mark there, and I'm probably going to sand that before I paint the other side. So I think it's just best to let it be thoroughly dry, like let it sit overnight. That way, when you flip it over, you have a dry surface. And when you're done painting, you want to make sure you kind of go around with your finger and catch any little drips, because it's those little drips that's going to stick there, and it'll leave something on the other side. See, there's a little drip right there. Now I might want to sand those before I paint that, but the rest of it looks pretty good. But the paint dries really smooth. Enamel is really awesome for painting cabinet doors, but it's a pain to clean up afterwards. But the results are so wonderful. And I'm just really pleased with it. So I'm probably going to wait till this evening because I got stuff going on in my life. Classes to teach and other things I have to get done. But probably tonight this will be thoroughly dry. And I'll turn them over and I'll start painting the other side. And then in the morning I will give us probably a third coat on the back side. And then those doors will be ready to add to the cabinet, which is right there. That's all painted and ready to be installed. So I bought this cabinet off of Facebook for $75. It came also with a porcelain sink, which I was really happy about. It has 2 drawers, which currently are out. And I took the drawers out, of course, and the doors off so that I could paint the cabinet. And I decided to, it was brown stain, I decided to paint inside and out of the cabinet. Just so that, you know, it just looks nice and looks new when you open up the doors and everything looks nice and white. Okay, it's time now to install the bathroom vanity. And the problem is we have 2 holes to make. One coming straight up and one on the side of the wall. That's where the drain pipe is. So it's a little tricky because this thing comes at an angle. Now I've cut and measured the hole that needs to go around here, and I have to give allowance for the space that it's going to require to get these shutoff valves into the hole. So I'm going to make sure that it's big enough square to fit around that. Now this is a little tricky because our cabinet is going to be up against the wall. Now I've got this sealed pretty good. Yeah, I know it's rough and I don't care because I had to cut a piece out and then I stuck it back in after I got the pipe on. But it's all sealed up well. I don't like to have big gaping holes. Nobody's going to see this part. It's going to be inside. The cabinet's going to be up against it. I really don't want to cut a huge hole in the side of the cabinet, but if I have to, that is already pretty well sealed. So I've taken plenty of measurements. I've taken the doors off the cabinet so it's easier to see what we're doing. And I have made my marks to cut the hole. This will be where the 2 water lines come up. And then on the side, the pipe, actually, I don't know if you can see, there's a shadow here. The pipe is actually going to be right here, but it goes at an angle in here. But I felt like I needed to have this space because as we're bringing the cabinet down on the water pipe here, the shutoff valves are just slightly below the height of where the pipe is going to be. So I felt like I needed to have a hole down here. And this is how far the pipe actually sticks out. So hopefully this is a big enough hole for us to maneuver this cabinet into place. We shall see. First thing we need to do is cut a pilot hole by drilling with a large drill so we can put a jigsaw blade down there. also made a cut on the back side around the baseboard so that this will be able to go flush against the wall. I just took my baseboard and traced it so that I know how much to cut off. My cuts worked very well without any difficulty. Now we just want to make sure the whole thing is level. We set the sink on here just to make sure that these pipes are long enough. They're plenty long, and my sink is going to come just up under here, so that's going to fit perfectly. Now we just need to get it secured flush to the wall and make sure it's sitting level. Okay, when we set the cabinet in here and we checked for leveling, the side was just a little bit low, so I put a little shim underneath down here to even it up. And then we had a gap back here, so we went and put a 1/2-inch board there, because if we pushed it up against the wall it would have made it unlevel. So this keeps it level by just adding that. So it's attached. Now we're ready to do the plumbing, I guess. We're applying glue to the top perimeter of the cabinet before we place the sink on. The plumbing has been attached. Now we're ready to glue the sink on. The new bathroom sink has been installed. Well, the bathroom cabinet is complete. The drawer is rebuilt, and I decided that the mirror is fine where it's at, but I did put this trim around the mirror, and I have another video where I've done that in my previous bathroom. So that just kind of dressed it up, because there seems to be enough room here with the sink in the middle. Even though the mirror is slightly off, it still works.